Okay, so I'm a little late to this drinker Dinniman drama, but still I got something to say about it. So in case you don't know, there's this author named Matt Dinniman, and he wrote a book series called Dungeon Crawler Carl. He then produced an audiobook version of that and had Critical Drinker read for a part in it. Then the book got optioned for a series on Peacock. But then people started raising concerns on Reddit about Drinker's involvement with it. So Dinniman posted a response distancing himself from Drinker and said he regretted ever having him involved. So that's the backstory. But then this whole thing got kicked off again when the Mary Sue of all places put out an article going after Drinker. And right away, the tone in the article tells you exactly what kind it's going to be. It's not an argument. It's not a serious attempt to understand why someone like him resonates with millions of people. It's just another petty, bitter, ideological hit piece. And that's what these outlets do. They don't persuade, they smear. And look, this is bigger than the Mary Sue, right? It's the same energy across a lot of entertainment media. They all seem to have this very specific kind of person they despise. The guy who refuses to repeat the approved opinion and refuses to pretend the last 10 years of entertainment haven't been a disaster. Like, let's be real. That's what this is about. Because if you don't fall in line, if you don't praise whatever message-driven product they're trying to sell, then suddenly you're the problem. You're toxic. You're a grifter. You're bad for the culture. Meanwhile, the actual state of the industry just keeps getting worse. Look at Marvel after Endgame. Look at the endless franchise decay. Look at the box office. This approach is not working, and everybody can see it except the people still trying to defend it. And that brings us to Matt Dinniman and Dungeon Crawler Carl. Now, on paper, this should have been a huge opportunity. Dungeon Crawler Carl is a strong concept. Humanity thrown into a deadly alien game show is a great hook. And now it's got a TV adaptation moving forward with Seth MacFarlane attached and Peacock involved. That means Matt Dinniman is no longer just a successful author, he's stepping into Hollywood proper now. And the second that happens, what do we see? Suddenly, the association with Drinker becomes a problem. And that is where this starts looking really bad. Because by Matt's own explanation, he was perfectly happy to bring Drinker in back when the exposure helped. He flat out said a creator with that kind of audience could only help this series along. In other words, when the association was useful, it was fine. When it helped visibility, it was fine. But now that there's a Hollywood deal on the table, now suddenly that same connection is an embarrassment. Oh, now it's a distraction. Funny how that works. That's the part people notice, and yeah, they should. Because if someone's audience was valuable enough to help you boost your project on the way up, then maybe torching that relationship the second Hollywood comes calling is not the smartest move in the world. I mean, look at the numbers. If a creator's audience could help your books when he was smaller, what do you think that audience could do for a show now that he's even bigger? What do you think happens when you insult that many potential viewers before the adaptation even gets off the ground? This is what Hollywood still doesn't understand. They keep acting like the audience is disposable. They keep assuming they can throw the fans under the bus, score points with the right people in the industry, and everything will work out. But that only works if the audience has nowhere else to go. And that is not the world we live in anymore. We are way past the point where these people can keep pretending the paying audience doesn't matter. If you alienate a massive chunk of the exact people most likely to care about your project and show up for your project, that is not strategy. That's sabotage. And Hollywood keeps doing this over and over and over again. They keep rejecting the very people they need, then acting shocked when the hype isn't there, when the ratings flop, or when the adaptation lands with a thud. And that's really the core of this whole thing. Hollywood needs to accept who its audience is, not the imaginary audience they keep trying to manifest on social media, not the approval crowd, not the activist bubble, the real audience. The people who actually, buy tickets, watch the show, support the creators, and keep franchises alive. Because if you keep treating those people like an obstacle instead of your foundation, your project is dead before it even arrives. And that is exactly why this whole Matt Dinniman situation feels so stupid to me. Because instead of building bridges with the people most likely to care, it feels like he's trying to prove he's acceptable to an industry that has a long history of chewing people up. Maybe that gets you some temporary approval. Maybe it gets you some polite nods. But But if you poison the well with the audience on the way in, good luck. Because at that point, what exactly are you left with? A project that has Hollywood backing, sure, but also a fan base that now looks at it sideways, a cloud of bad blood hanging over it, and a launch already dragged down by completely avoidable hostility. And if that show struggles, if it comes out to weak numbers, then no, people are not going to forget why. They're going to remember that you chose image management over the audience. And that right there is why so much of modern entertainment keeps failing. These people still do not understand that the audience is not the enemy. The audience is the whole reason any of this works in the first place. All right, so I guess that's my take on it. Thanks for watching, and hit subscribe for more gamer takes.